Hello traders, welcome back to our weekly analysis video detailing our trading plan and strategy for the coming week. And this is EURUSD. So the first chart we are going to analyze is that of the EURUSD. This is EURUSD on a weekly chart. As you can see, the EURUSD has been falling for the past 3 weeks precisely. This is the red candle here, this is a red candle here, and this is a red candle. So there has been a sluggish fall, and what I'm looking at for this week is a situation whereby this fall will continue all the way to this this channel. You see here, I've created a channel here, and I'm expecting a situation whereby the movement of this EURUSD will continue to go alongside the channel. So what I'm expecting is a situation whereby this pair will continue its movement until it gets to this channel. So something like that is actually expected to happen. This is a resistant, trend line on top, and this is another trend line downwards, making it a channel. And I expect a movement to continue until it gets to this channel line. All right, let's look at the lower time frame and see what the situation is like there. So let's go to the daily chart. Okay, this is the daily chart. You can see there has been a bounce on this channel as seen on the daily chart. So it has already witnessed a bounce, and what I'm looking at is a situation whereby this bounce will still continue up. Then thereafter it will come down again in this form, and it is expected to actually break this channel. By the time this channel is broken, there's going to be another movement. So this is what I'm expecting to happen. So we are going to short EURUSD for the coming week. So get ready to short EURUSD. And then as we prepare for the week, we'll be looking for any possible way to get in on a short side. So we always join the winners. At the moment, it is the BS that are controlling the situation for EURUSD, and we are going to work with the BS in looking for the best opportunities so far to enter on a short side. All right, if you look at the 4-hour time frame, it's also, you will notice that the pair has been moving down. The pair has been moving down for quite a long time. So this channel, and I'm looking at a situation whereby it will continue to bounce on this channel in continuation, moving down. All right, so what I'm looking at is a situation. There was an attempt here. There wasn't a serious attempt to break out of this channel, but it still falls down, bounce up. So possibly what will happen is that this pair will attempt to bounce again, maybe getting to the utmost part. Then possibly that might happen before it starts to come down again to this channel. So everything is possible in Forex, but what you need to do as a trader is to watch out for any possible scenario. But you need to have your bias pattern, and our bias for the coming week is short. So we'll be looking for opportunity on the short side. But if for any reason we couldn't get that and the pair continues to go up and up, we might actually ignore it in order not to be carried away on both sides. So we look for a short, and if our short trade is not forthcoming, we might stay out of a EURUSD and look for opportunities elsewhere. So that is what I see for the coming week on EURUSD. Moving on, this is GBPUSD, and this is the daily chart. From the daily chart, you can see that this support level has held and is now moving upwards. It's now moving back upwards after the pair moved down from this region all the way to this region. You can see now it is bouncing and moving upwards. So what I'm expecting is a situation whereby the pair will continue to move up until it gets to this horizontal line here. This horizontal line, as you can see, it has served as a previous resistance. So, and it's what I would call 50% discounting of this line, 50% discount of this impulse wave. So from there, I will expect this pair to begin to come down again. So if we are going to trade from this point, I will expect our take profit level to be the same support zone here. So, but on the long run, this is what I'm actually expecting, a situation whereby the pair will continue on a longer time, but it's going to take more weeks before that will be done. So that is what I'm expecting. Then from this point, there's going to be a massive buy, a buy from institutions, and that massive buy is going to bring this pair all the way back up to this region again. So this is exactly what is going to happen. So get your mind prepared to trade it downwards. That being the case, now let's see what we can do by comparing other lower time frame. So by the way, let's look at a weekly time frame and see. You can see in the weekly time frame is still moving up and is heading towards this this horizontal line that I've drawn. You can see that this point has served as a resistance for several weeks. From here, each candle here represents 1 week of trading, and for several weeks that region has been a resistance. I'm expecting this pair to move up onto that region. From there it will be resisted and be pushed downwards again to this horizontal line. So if you have what it takes to trade, I expect you to trade it in that manner, such that from this horizontal line downwards would have made a good deal of profit. So that's what I'm expecting. I expect also those that knows what they are doing to be able to trade this thing, this pair GBPUSD all the way down to this line. If you do it, at least your account is going to be happy for it. So I'm expecting a very good week for GBPUSD on the downside. So as a traders, we are not intimidated by what we see. We only follow our strategies and do it confidently, and we'll ever get what we want. So the week is actually looking like one that will be interesting. So it has bounced, and I expect that bounce to continue when it gets to this horizontal line, and by the time it gets there, I will expect it to be the 50% recovery of the initial move. So that 50% retracement, then continuation, is going to pave way for our profitability. All right. So I expect the week to be a gainful week, a profitable week for you as you do the right thing and as you trade with confidence, bearing in mind the measure of risk that you can take depending on the size of your account. Moving on, this is AUDUSD and it's here on the daily time frame. From what I can see, this pair will actually make for both buy and sell at the same time, depending on the direction we want to focus. So from what I can see, the pair has been trapped in a triangular form. From whence I made this analysis, it has continued to remain in this triangle. And what I'm looking at is any attempt to break out of this triangle will actually lead to this pair continuing to move uptrends. So what happened is that there's a possibility that it can break out on either side. So if after an attempt and it breaks out of this one, if it breaks this triangle, then I will expect it to go down, all the way down, at least hitting this nearest key resistance. So that is what I'm seeing. So in summary, if it breaks out of this triangle to the downside, I will expect to be a seller. And if it gets, if it continue to go up and reaches this triangle, if it's unable to break out, that will be the best possible time to begin to trade it to the downside. I will expect it to come all the way to this region and possibly to this angle. So if that happens, that will make for a very big sell, because if you consider the number of pips from here to here, you'll be talking about hundreds of profit, and that is actually a good deal of profit. So for the coming week, we are going to be strategizing on how to trade GBPUSD on both sides. This is actually the weekly time frame of the GBP. Sorry, I keep saying GBP. That's not what I intend to say. I'm actually talking of AUDUSD. So sorry about that. So this is AUDUSD on its weekly chart. So on this triangle that has been created so far, I'm expecting any breakout of this triangle from either side. Then I will focus on that side. If it breaks down to the downside, if it breaks out to the downside, I get a focus on the downside. If it breaks out to the upside, therefore I will have to focus on the upside. So possibility is that it can happen either ways. So prepare your mind and get used to trading on both sides. So what is happening now is that if to me, you can simply place a buy trade immediately and expect it to go towards this triangle, or at least reaching this triangle. You take your profit and then enter another trade to the downside, because this channel, this triangle is going to remain, and it give it some time before it can either break out on either side of the triangle. So if you trade up, you take your profit at the end of this triangle. If you trade downwards, it will be preferable once it has broken out from the triangle to the downside before you place your trade on the sell, or once it has moved up and got to this end of the triangle, the upper end of the triangle on the upside. I expect a resistance to also be formed here, because this is also a resistance trend line. So when it gets to this resistance area, there will be a form of resistance, and that will lead to the pair going all the way down again to come and retest this triangular support here. So that is what I'm saying for the coming week, and I expect it to be an interesting week and a profitable week. Moving on, this is USDCAD, and this is the weekly chart of the USDCAD. Now from the graph here, you will see that we have here a bearish candle. The last week was bearish. From the chart from here, you can see that this is a bearish candle that was formed. So, and this candle is an indication that there is a tendency that this chart will continue to go down. The price action for this USDCAD is to continue to go down and down. So having formed the first possible bearish candle, I would expect it to continue to come down, to continue to break down until it gets to this nearest support area. So this is the supportive zone for this pair, and that is where we are looking at. And it's to be this first support line. That is what I'm looking at, and that is what surely we are going to get that. So it is better we simply sell the USDCAD, but before we do that, we need to pinpoint the best possible area to begin to make this. All right. So this price action here that you see here is an indication of a pair that wants to go down. You can see a hammer here, a form of hammer on top, a bullish hammer, a green candle, but it's a hammer and remains on top. It shows that the resistance area is going to be maintained, and this followed a bearish candle here, and we expect that bearishness to continue in this coming week. So what we're gonna do now is to go to the lower time frame and see what is happening there. And this is the lower time frame. This is a daily time frame, and for at least for 7 weeks in a row, and each candle, sorry, for 7 days in a row, the pair has been going down. We can see each of these candles that you see here are all bearish candles, indicative that the pair has been going down. So in this week, we expect the continuation of that downward momentum. So let's still go to the 4-hour time frame. We can see from here all the way down to this place that pair has been going down, and when it gets to this point, as you can see, there was a support here, a real support in this zone, and there's a support. It has been resistance support. As a result of that, when it gets to that position again, the pair attempted to go up and still continue down. So we are looking at a situation where this pair will continue to go down, or indicates to the nearest supportive area, which is this zone. So we are expecting to see this pair go down until it gets to this horizontal line. So, but what are we going to do? How are we going to trade it? So that is the question we need to ask ourselves. Let me employ another tool that I normally use to look at some of these things. So this is a Fibonacci. I'm going to draw a Fibonacci, looking at this impulse wave, downward impulse wave. I'm going to take it all the way to the down, and as you can see, this movement, this impulse wave from here to this here is what I'm trying to judge. So looking at that same downward impulse wave, you see that after the pair recovered and went up, this place is serving as Fibonacci 61.8. So at Fibonacci, exactly Fibonacci 61.8, the pair begins to go down again, and this pair is expected to continue to go down until it gets to this 0. So that is what is going to happen. Now we expect a total recovery of this move, a total recovery. So the pair has moved up and catch up with this initial move. So now it has started moving down. So we expect to move down, or it catches up with this support zone, making it counterbalancing all of this move. So move up, down, so that in what case it will appear that the pair is actually flowing in a rectangular, cage. It's operating within a rectangle. So this is the end, the top of the rectangle, and this is the bottom of the rectangle. So that is what I expect. I expect this movement downwards till it gets to this one, and from here there is going to be a movement up again. So it's as if it is caged up in a rectangle. So it's operating in a range for the moment, but this range that I've explained, not everybody will be able to see it, but it's a range. So I expect to be a seller. Sell is our buyer, so we are biased to the short side for this coming week, and hopefully we are going to get our move and we are going to get our profit. All right, again, moving on, this is USDCHF, and this is the daily time frame. From the daily time frame, you can see that this pair has been on a long run, on a powerful uptrend. Starting from this plate, it has been moving all the way up, moving all the way up, all the way up until at this region. So at this point, it has reached a resistance level, and this is the resistance area I'm talking about. That is where it is at this point. This resistance zone is reached there, and the resistance has actually held. So I'm expecting that resistance to continue to hold, and after it reached that resistance area, a bearish pin bar was formed, and then the pair went down for a full day, and then the next day was a doji, and the latest candle is a green candle. But what I'm seeing is a situation whereby there's gonna be a retest of this at the top of this pin bar. There's going to be a retest there. Then after that retest, then the pair is gonna come down again. So I'm expecting a retest of the top of these two candles, bearish candles, from there is gonna come down again. So if the pair is resisted again here after it testing, so I will expect our take profit level to be at this zone, to the nearest support area. So that is what we are going to expect. And then this is the daily chart. Now let's look at other time frame and see what we got there. This is the weekly chart. From the weekly chart, you can see that there is a bearish pin bar here on this zone. And let's look at the trend line. You can see that this resistance trend line has held for several points in time, and we're expecting the pair at this time to be resisted from this trend line and come down again. So I will expect something like this. After that resistance is formed, I will expect the pair to actually continue to come down. So this is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting something like this. So a situation whereby this pair is going to be trapped in a sort of a triangle or in a sort of a channel. So that is what I'm looking at. A situation whereby the situation whereby the channel is going to grow and this pair is going to continue along the channel. So what are we going to do for the coming week? We expect to be selling, and we are going to sell USDCHF for the coming week. We are going to sell. So this pair has actually been set up again. A sell signal is setting up here. So if at any cost it moves up and then retest these candles there, that will make for a good buy, and we are going to take our profit at the nearest key support zone. All right, this is gonna be a very good trade, and it's gonna set up very well in the coming days. So this is the 4-hour time frame. So you can see the story is the same. So this pace is gonna keep coming down. It's gonna keep coming down. So do not be afraid to place your trade. You can also place a sell trade immediately without much ado, because this pair is already at the resistant area. So it has come down. It has come down and then move up. So I'm going to expect to see something like this coming down. All right. So our trade for the coming, our trade bias for USDCHF for the coming week is going to be on the sell side. Moving on, this is GBPJPY, pounds JPY, and this is the weekly chart. From this weekly chart, you can see that the formation of candles here indicates a bearish reversal. So we are witnessing a situation whereby the sellers are actually gaining control in the market. This pair actually attempted to move out of this resistant area, but it failed. You can see it here. That is a very big resistance area, and the pair has attempted to break free from it, but it didn't work. So here it forms a pin bar, and followed by another short candle, another small candle, followed by another small candle that we are witnessing. So actually this zone is highly resistant in nature, and I'm expecting a situation whereby this pair is going to be unable to break out of this zone. It made that attempt with this candle. It breaks out of the resistance here and then still fell back into the resistance, showing that this is a very strong resistance area. So let's now go down to the lower time frame and see what is happening. From the lower time frame, I have here a triangle. It's what I will simply call a wedge. So you can see on the bottom of all these candles, the bottom is resistance, while the top of the candles is the bottom is support, while the top is the resistance. And for many days, several days, they have been unable to move out of this triangle or wedge, however you look at it. So it continued to resist. from the top side, and the bottom has continued to maintain as a support. But we are looking at a situation whereby there will be breakout of this triangle. So what are we going to do when there is a breakout? If there is a breakout to the upside, how we expect the pair to move up and then retest this resistance area, to retest this top. So this top is likely to be retested. So if it breaks this candle, for example, if a candle ends in this form, a situation whereby the candle ends here as a big candle out of this triangle, I expect that it will finally get to the resistance area, and from this zone here, this line here to this line is a massive, more than 100 pips of profit. All right, so what are we going to do concerning this trade for the coming week? So we are going to wait for a breakout of this triangle that will inform our best position. But for the time being, I'm looking at a situation whereby we will short this GBPY, this pounds GBPY. Let me look at the lower time frame still. Okay, from the lower time frame, the story is quite the same. As you can see, this support area has held, and the resistance is still holding, and the pair has been unable to come out of this triangle for so many days. Each candle here represents 4 hours. For several 4 hours in a day, it has been unable to break out of this resistance and this support area. So we are looking at a situation whereby this place is still going to serve as a resistance, and the pair is going to start coming down again. All right, so we are going for likely a sell. If this resistance and we are looking at on this line holds, we expect to come down, and by the time it comes down to this point, there is likely to be breakout, and when there is breakout, we are going to throw in all our sell positions and then drive it downwards. So if we are placing a sell in this pair, where are we likely to take our profit? So I will expect our take profit level to be the nearest key support area. So, and it's likely to be here, to use this line. So that it has served as a resistance in the past, support, resistance, support. So we are likely to use this zone for our take profit area, because that position in that zone has been highly contested area. It's been a support and resistance at different points in time. Okay, moving on. This is good. And let's go to the weekly chart. As you can see on the weekly chart, gold has continued to move up. Gold is having the best of his time. Gold is now in an uncharted waters, uncharted territory. This is history being made. Gold has reached 2,258. That is extraordinary. Gold is actually moving all the way to the skies. The sky is the limit of gold. So in this type of market, you cannot be a seller. You simply join the chorus. You simply join the bus, join the music. Don't go against the big institutions, because they are the one making gold to move up in this single direction all the way to the up. So let's look at the daily time frame. From the daily time frame, the story is the same. Last week I told you that what gold will do is to simply move up and then come down. When it gets to this, the nearest when it gets to this the top of this pin, when it moves down from up to the top of this pin, that is going to serve as a support, because this pin, you see here, there's a very strong resistance formed by this pin, and here there's an attempt, a real attempt and a successful attempt to break out of that resistance. And as far as it has broken out of that resistance and coming back to it, it was going to serve as a support, and indeed it served as a support from where gold take off again. So what I'm saying also is the same way. Gold has a behavior that it has maintained from time immemorial. So this is another pin that you're seeing here. If gold falls down to that pin here, if after moving up and it falls gradually to this pin, that will be another opportunity for a buy. So never short gold for now. Gold is being supported by a lot of geopolitical tensions, a lot of politics behind the movement of gold. Some countries are now buying gold reserve, keeping their foreign reserve in the form of gold. And gold has been supported by different bad news that are occurring around the world at this period in time. So in the time of uncertainties, people have always try to keep their money, their reserve in form of gold. People try to build up their gold reserve during periods of uncertainty, because it is actually safer than dollar. In the past, from the time past, gold has served as a currency on itself. It has served as a legal tender, and it's continued to serve even up to this day. From the time of the Stone Age man to the time of the modern man, gold has become an instrument of value, and this instrument normally gains prestige, gains a form of undeniable, quantifiable prestige during periods of uncertainty, as people tend to keep their money in form of gold, because they know that gold is a valuable asset that never gets depreciated so quickly. So what are we expecting for gold in the coming week? There is no way gold is not going to crash any time soon, except if the chairman of Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, makes a comment that is very supportive of such a crash. There are different type of comment that he can make, and you see gold start dropping. From dropping, it will now crash down. But I don't expect any form of policy or comment that Jerome Powell is going to make that will actually lead to a massive fall for the time being. For example, interest rates has been cut briefly, and several nations around the world will continue to cut interest rate, and as far as they keep doing that, gold is going to be propelled. And as far as we keep hearing stories of wars from different nations and across different continents, gold is will continue to rise. Okay, so we are expecting gold to continue to rise. But if you want to place a buy on gold, I do not expect you to place the buy on top of this candle that is actually very extended for the time being. I want you to place a buy when it is a fall back towards the top of this horizontal line. That will actually give you a better opportunity, because by the time it makes a move back to the former position, you are already going to be in heavy profits. So if you place your trade here and then it moves down, it means that it has moved against you and you are going to be in serious loss and you might panic and sell off. So that is why it is good for you to place a trade when you have gotten the discount that you deserve. All right. So for the coming week, we'll be looking for opportunity to buy good. And if we cannot find that opportunity to buy good, we will better stay out of the market. We will stay out of the gold market. All right.